Hi, my name's Davey Lee Good from Greasy. I'm going to show you how to apply a Waterslide Decal to a guitar. So before we start, I just wanted to take a look at this particular guitar. I've got a nice Hofner here. And let's take a look at a couple of different decals that I've got happening on here. This particular one right here is a static cling decal. We produce these, and these will go on all modern finishes on guitars. And they kind of go on and off as many times as you want that to happen. You kind of move the piece around wherever you want to go. So moving away from the static cling, if I move over to this side of the body, we have something that's uniquely different, and these are water slides. And we've used clear decals on this particular guitar, and I always like to use clear. Clear allows the colour of the guitar body to actually show through the image, so it kind of blends in much more nicely to the instrument. If I were doing an airbrush effect on a guitar, I don't very often use white paint, simply because white paint on a darker colour instrument makes it look more like a decal. So you try to blend in as much as possible with the tones on the guitar, and that can work even for a darker coloured guitar with a clear image. So let's go ahead and clean the guitar here. We just want to make sure that there's no dust or anything like that on the guitar, and that there's no sticky finger marks or anything like that, because whatever's there we're going to cover over it with the water slide, and we need to make sure we've got a nice clean surface to do that. So the other thing that we're going to need is a source of warm water, so this doesn't need to be too warm to the touch, it's just kind of nice to put your fingers in, okay? Nothing too hot there. And we need a couple of sheets of kitchen roll. Okay, so I'm going to pick which image I want here for the guitar, and this is kind of a big one. Today I think I'm going to put this medium size gal right up here in the corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut her out. So just to make it easier for myself, I'm going to rough cut around the decal there. Now it's up to you how close you go with the cuts around here. I tend to go pretty close, so I'm going to follow the profile pretty much all the way around when I cut with the scissors. But if you want to leave a little bit of a border, that's fine, because it's just a clear image that we're putting on here. So anything that will leave around the edge is just going to show up clear on the guitar anyway, and you're hardly going to see it. So, you know, we can turn the piece of paper around, keep the scissors in a constant position. Now there, where I'm getting close to the shoes, I'm just going to leave quite a bit of the white in there and cut across the bottom of the shoes there. And I don't have to get too close. I'm just going to go in kind of close. Then where I'm next to the black, I'm going to hug the black with the scissors as I go up there. Again, you'll notice that what I'm doing here is I have the scissors straight, and I'm kind of manipulating the decal around to get close. So, you know, if you're not used to kind of cutting these things out, it can be a little tricky. But just take your time. Have a good pair of scissors, good pair of sharp scissors. And again, around the hairline there, I don't have to get too close, just provided I'm reasonably close. Fender uses these kind of decals on headstocks. If you look at an old guitar, they have these decals on headstocks, and you'll notice that it's quite a big border around the Fender logo there, which didn't show up on year one when they kind of made the guitars, but eventually there's a finish toned down on the guitar, and you know, we get a little bit of sun fade on the instrument. Different things starts to happen where the water slide was, so you can actually see where those water slides were. So you'll see they left big borders around those things. I don't like to leave so big a border, but you'll see I'm getting pretty close in here. So there we go. And she's nicely cut out, ready to go. So now what I'm going to do, I've got the decal, the guitar's clean, I'm just going to pop the decal in this warm water. And I'm going to leave it in the water for around about 20-25 seconds. So let's immerse it down, let's make sure it's fully down into the water. So our decal's been in there for just a little over 20 seconds, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to, with my fingers, see if it'll slide. There it goes. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but the decal's sliding on the on the paper background. So what I'm going to do now is just slide it to the left slightly, for me anyway, to your right, and I'm just going to grab the edge of the paper there, and with my hand on the decal I'm going to get the decal to stay still on the guitar. Okay, I'm just going to slide the underside away. So now that I've done that, I have a few wrinkles in there, and I'm doing this pretty much the same as anybody will be able to do it. So the decal's on there, I'm happy where it's sitting. While it's wet I could slide it around a little bit and kind of move it to where I want to go. You know, if you do want to move it, just wet around the guitar and it'll kind of slide, so don't let anything dry out here. So when I'm perfectly happy that the decal's in the right place and it's nicely stretched out, I'm wetting my finger all the time that I'm stretching this out so that I don't pull too tight on the decal. So with the wet finger I'm making sure that all those globules of water and everything that are underneath the decal there are sliding out. So I've pretty much got most of that out. Now I'm going to pick up a piece of my kitchen roll, and again I'm going to put the kitchen roll now between my finger and the job, and now I'm going to start doing exactly the same thing, starting from the centre of the decal and just working my way outwards. Now with the lights that I've got here I can see the ripples and everything underneath the decal, so any globules of water I see under there, or air bubbles or anything, I'm just pushing them away and pushing them out to the side. And because I've got the kitchen roll, I'm also drying the decal out as well. So I got that pretty well on there. Just be careful you don't catch the edge as you're doing this. We don't want to damage the decal. You can see there I've just pulled that and pulled that tight a little bit. That's really nice now. I'm just going to dab now and get rid of the moisture off the guitar. Make sure I'm fully happy. I think she's pretty awesome. She's now on the guitar. That's just going to take a few minutes to dry out. So there we have it. There's the guitar with the water slide applied. You know, she's going to dry out pretty nice, and my experience with these things is they hold up pretty well. If you want something to be really permanent, then I wouldn't advise you do it yourself unless you're experienced, but you can put a coat of lacquer over the top of these and you know, seal it into the coating onto the guitar, and they're going to be pretty permanent at that stage. But like I say, the joy of these things is they're fairly easy to apply. When you get fed up with it, you take the decal off, and all you have to do for that is just wet the decal and just it'll come off with your fingers. You know, don't apply too much water to the guitar. We're not really trying to wet the guitar. You know, we're just trying to wet the decal. So guitars and water don't mix too well, but you don't need much water for this process. So on this guitar we have a tailpiece here that you know, complements the designs on the guitar. This was manufactured here at Greasy Groove. It's exotic wood tailpiece with some abalone and real pearl inlays and different exotic woods there to create the gal there. We have another solid wood pickguard here, again with some exotic wood inlay and pearloid inlay and you know, some jewels for the beads here, and the whole thing kind of looks really great. And then it's kind of encapsulated in a hard lacquer coating, and that thing's there forever. We've put some of our knobs on here. We can make custom knobs of any style you desire. These are our Lone Star knobs, and these look pretty cool on there. We've put one of our leopard print pickguard rings over the top of there, and this just slips over the top of a regular humbucker ring, so they're fairly easy to put on. And on the top end of the guitar here we've put a truss rod cover that's kind of with the design that follows the features of the pin-up gals on the guitar, so that looks pretty cool. And then the overall effect is something that's pretty awesome, right? So you know, my big thing is rockabilly, so I love guitars like this to death, and I think this is pretty great. So the other thing to mention is you can get water slides that have a white background, so these are clear. We do produce them with white. The only time I'd probably use them if you're on really dark colours, dark blues and you know, dark reds, and you know, if you're edging towards black, then you're probably going to want a white background on there. And I think that's about it for the water slides. Thank you very much.